Good morning. So I'm really excited to bring you my journey from Mexico, and I'm excited to get it going. So that first picture you see there was me on the plane going down to San Diego. By the way, which is a beautiful airport. Love the approach into the landing, and the next picture you're going to see is the approach into downtown San Diego from the airplane, and then the next picture is where I was waiting to be picked up by Angel, our driver that was to take me to Hospital CER in Mexico. So here's that. So once I arrived at the San Diego airport, my companion, my friend who had been in Phoenix, met me in San Diego, and then I called the coordinator to arrange to make sure that the driver was going to be there to pick us up. I arrived a little bit early, so we did have to wait a few minutes, but if I had arrived on time, then the driver would have been there right on time when he was supposed to be. What was interesting is as I was sitting in the airport here at home in Canada, I saw a lady, and she was with a girl and had a pillow, and I was just like, I wonder if she's going to do the same thing as me. And I mean, it's very judgmental, isn't it? I mean, they could have just been going on a holiday. But sure enough, as I'm waiting outside of the designated area where we were supposed to meet Angel, out comes this lady and her friend, and she ended up having her surgery on same day, same clinic, and we got along really well. And so Angel picked the four of us up, and then we went and picked up a gentleman from a hotel that was staying in the area. He was from California, and he went down by himself. So the next picture is just as you're coming into Mexico, and I took a little video going through the border, which was kind of interesting. You basically either just drive right through, they just drive on, or they kind of wave you in, and you'll see at the end of the video clip they did wave us in, and when the video stops, the border patrol there, he opened the window, the driver's window, said some stuff, and then he opened the back where all our luggage was, unzipped somebody's suitcase, looked in, zipped it up, and tapped the back of the van, and away we went. So that was it. There was no request for ID or anything. That all happens on the way back into America. Mexico lets anybody in. They're just happy to have you come to their country. So so here's a couple of one picture and one video of that.
That sounded kind of sinister.
Am I allowed to be videoing? Is it okay? Well, here's a... So Angel drives really, really fast, and he definitely gets you to where you need to go quickly. So his instructions were to take us to the hotel, and my instructions had been that because I had requested to go first for surgery because I didn't want to wait around, and I thought my anxiety would get the better of me if I had to wait. My instructions were that I was going to the hospital to get all my blood work done on Monday the 11th so that I could go straight into surgery on Tuesday the 12th. So I text my coordinator, and she said, yeah, no problem, you're going straight to the hotel. And then sure enough, Angel's phone rings, and we all ended up going to the hospital. So thanks to me, everybody got their blood work and stuff done on Monday. So we went to the hospital, and it's more clinicky looking than a real hospital. It's interesting how things are kind of laid out in Mexico. Like you'll see like a large really nice building like the hospital CER, and then next door is like this kind of ramshackle pub, and then there'll be something really lovely, and then something else kind of in ruins, and it kind of goes like that. But this area of town had a lot of medical type buildings, and hospital CER is like a 4-story. It is classified as a hospital, but it's a 4-story building. The first floor houses the cafeteria where you get your blood work done, the pharmacy, admitting, all of that business. The second floor is, I think that's for plastics. The third floor is surgery, and the fourth floor is where we stay, or something along those lines. No, second floor, sorry, pardon me. Second floor is where the surgeries take place. Third floor is where we stay, and fourth floor, I have no idea. So we got to the hospital, and they took me right away back to this little area where a nurse took my blood, and I thought I was going to have my EKG done then as well, but that didn't happen until the next day before my surgery. So, or did it happen that day? Anyways, it happened that day, but it wasn't on the same floor. It was upstairs. So here's the little waiting area where you get your blood work done. So I added in a couple pictures of the lobby of the building. There's also a security guard that is there at the front the whole time. So that's keeps safety in mind. I never once felt that my safety was in any danger anywhere I went. Wandered up and down the street a little bit that day. We were waiting for our ride to go back to check into the hotel that day, and I walked around the block and back again, and yeah, it's totally safe and secure. And even just as an aside, having my stuff in the room, they want all your luggage and items in the cupboard. They don't want anything laying out and about. And I put it all in my suitcase, and I didn't have any care or concern about it. The staff were all very friendly and kind, and I just didn't feel like anybody was looking at my stuff. So I know some people have been concerned about that, but I honestly felt no worry about that whatsoever. So it was about that time that I realized we were in Mexico, and timing was going to be Mexican time. So we were waiting for our ride to go back to the hotel, and it was a fair wait. But then they came and got us and took us back to the Marriott. I'll insert a couple pictures here of the Marriott. The room they gave me for the one night stay, I think if you're going down and you get a room like this one, I would request, well, even when you're at the desk, just request a room with a window. So our room didn't have a window, so it was like on the inside of the building, like where the elevator shafts are. And I just felt like it was a bit like it was clean, it was fine. It was just I like to have daylight. So it felt a little dungeony to me. So I would request to have a room with a window, just for the future if anybody's heading down that way. So here's a couple pictures of the Marriott, and this hotel really goes out of their way to accommodate those of us. And it's not just CER patients, there's some from other agencies and hospitals as well. I think a Lighter Me has a van that goes from there as well. But the hospital sends over broth, and they make popsicles. And I'll tell you the story about food in a second. But here's a couple pictures of the Marriott. So I also included some pictures there of once we got to the Marriott, we, myself, my companion, and another patient and her companion, we all walked up to Walmart. Just a word to the weary, it is pretty much uphill the whole way. It's about a quarter of a mile, not a bad walk. I wouldn't have done it post-op, I'll tell you that much. But we walked up to Walmart, and there's a picture there of Jocelyn and myself, who were getting sleeved the following day, with a couple of t-shirts that we found in pretty small sizes. We didn't buy them, we just thought they were kind of funny. So from there, we checked into the hotel, and let me tell you something. So when we had finished our blood work and our EKGs, our coordinator met us in the lobby, and then we were waiting for our transport. But she said to us, when you get back to the hotel, you can have some food. And we were like, excuse me? And she said, yeah, you can have like a salad with no dressing, or some fruit with some chicken, or something along those lines. And I was like, are you kidding me? So we went back to the hotel and went to the restaurant, and they all know that we're patients. Like, there's like, they know, little obvious, who is there for the surgery anyway. And you need to tell them anyways, because when you order your broth, it's complimentary. Broth, popsicles, and I can't remember what else. But anyway, so I said to my waiter, I would like a grilled chicken breast and a plate of fruit. And he says, no, you can't have that. And I was like, oh, yes, I can. And he's like, no, you can have broth. I said, no, my coordinator told me I'm allowed chicken and fruit, or chicken and salad, and I want chicken and fruit. And he's like, oh, we better check. And I felt like saying, I'm going to come across this table and throat punch you if you don't bring me my chicken. Well, long story short, I got my chicken and I got my fruit plate, and I have never tasted anything so yummy in my life. The pineapple. So if you're going down there and you are given that option too, just skip all the rest of the fruit. If you love pineapple, just say, give me a plate of pineapple and some chicken. The chicken breast was delicious, freshly made, right off the grill. It was delightful. I mean, when you've done nothing but clear for that whole day, I was really worried, because I was like, are they gonna like open me up tomorrow and go, aha, you had food and you are not allowed? But all was well. And so we had that, and it was delightful. And then you can't have anything after that. So they picked us up at 6:30 in the morning to go back to the hospital. checked into the hospital, and that was fine. Asked me to change into a gown and started my IV. This was their first attempt. Didn't work very well. The second was fine in my right hand. That's where it ended up. So another thing, in Mexico, everything at the hospital I found was, I'm a germaphobe, so I like everything just so. Everything was very, very clean. It was very well taken care of. There was cleaners there all the time. You'll see in one of the videos coming up, I had a shower and it was like within 2 minutes there was somebody there like wiping everything down, wiping down the shower curtain as if I had the plague. And they just do a really good job of cleaning and keeping everything very sanitary. Timing is another thing. Getting your meds on time and getting your IV. They don't have the automatic IV poles that we do in North America. They have it's a metal pole. And so when you see blood starting to go up your IV, you know that your antibiotic or your pain med is finished. Go grab them, and then they'll switch it back over. I was about to do it myself, but I figured going for a little walk would be fun. So they checked me in, and Dr. Garcia stays on schedule. It's everybody else who's a little bit behind. And I was a little anxious. They gave me some happiness, and I was taken down. My surgery was for 9 a.m. My surgery took approximately 35 minutes, and then I was in recovery for a couple of hours because I was having trouble with, I have asthma, and I had trouble with my breathing a little bit coming out of anesthesia. So that first day was horrific for me. All the side effects that you can get, I thought maybe I'd get one or two, but I got severe gas pain in my chest. So it was heavy chest, and my shoulder. That was the gas pain. I walked and walked and walked. I walked more than anybody there, and it still was awful. And I had nausea and dry heaves, and some of you can relate to that, but dry heaves on a freshly sewn stomach doesn't feel very good. I did not throw up, however, and one girl that came with us did throw up, and I felt so bad for her. And I had quite a bit of pain. So one really great thing about a hospital CER is that there is always a doctor there. So whether you are in the middle of the night or whatever, there's always a doctor at the desk, and they can adjust your meds. So I got my meds adjusted, and I got an extra pain medication and some more nausea stuff, and that helped a little. But that first day, it was pretty much a write-off for me because I couldn't get relief from one to get into the other, so I could not get on top of my pain. However, the next day, it was a little bit better, and then the next day, better. And so the first night, they bring you a blue dye to drink and watch your pouch to make sure your little tubey thing sticking out, to make sure that there's nothing in it. And then they do that again the next day, and then the next day you are taken to they don't have x-ray facilities on site, so you're taken with everybody to go for a pouch, not a pouch test, but a leak test. And you have to swallow this disgusting clear half of it, and then they x-ray you, and then they have you swallow the rest and x-ray while you're swallowing and make sure that you don't have leaks. It's worth it to make sure that you don't have a leak. And I'll just put a video in here I did a little video of the actual hospital room. And by the way, Dr. Garcia checks on you every day you're there. He comes in, makes sure you're okay, how you're feeling, how things are going. So here's a little video of the actual hospital room.
Behind you?
No. So here's my room. Messy bed. There's your companion's bed. It's a little futon thing. Desk, closet. TV. Bathroom. And they keep everything very, very clean, so after my shower this morning, they came in and cleaned it as if I had the plague. So they did a good job. I am 1 day post-op. And this is the little hallway you have to walk all the time. You walk up there, you turn around, and you walk to that door. And you turn around, and you walk to there. And you turn around, and you walk to there. And that's really all there is to see in here. I didn't quite realize how tired I look. I've been out this morning and I think I overdid it. I went shopping with a friend and then we went for lunch, and lunch was really disappointing because I'm allowed full liquids now for this coming week and starting yesterday. And so I had looked at menus online and I found a soup at Chili's that I thought would be good. It's called loaded baked potato, and I thought if I got them to strain that and just give me the liquid, that would be perfect. And so went in all excited and I said, yeah, you know, I recently had surgery and I'm on restricted diet, so could you do this? No, we can't. Pardon? So he's like, it's too thick of a soup to strain it. And so anyway, I just had him bring me the soup and I just dipped my spoon in about 10 times and that's all I could really do. And so I came home and made some cream of wheat, so whatever. So I am a little tired, so I'm looking a little like I need a nap. But anyway, I wanted to get this video finished and loaded. So that was the video of the hospital room and the hallway where you have to walk, walk, walk. And I encourage you to walk, walk, walk as much as you can. Every time you feel uncomfortable, get up and walk the halls. I would make it my goal to just go up and down 4 times, like 4 one way, 4 the other, and it's not very far. But I did that almost every hour, including through the night. They come in every 2 hours and leave the lights on and whatnot. Now, that first day, my afternoon nurse was an absolute nightmare. He was terrible. He started a new IV bag and he ripped a hole in it and decided to put a little piece of tape on it. Well, after there created a large puddle on my floor, I went out to the head nurse. So there's always a doctor there, there's always a head nurse there, and then there's the nurses that are assigned to each. They got like 4 rooms each, 4 shifts. Anyways, this guy did not speak any English, and I expected some of the nurses that wouldn't, but he was rough when he was changing my dressings. I mean, my first day, like I said, was really bad anyways, and to have a nurse who wasn't empathetic, it was really hard on me, and so that made it not so much fun. The next day, however, my nurse, I'm going to say her name, not his, her name was Dana, and she was amazing. She was gentle and sweet and kind, and I just had only wished that I had her the day before. So, I talked about going for the swallow test. Then we came back and Dr. Garcia came in and I asked him if he would do a little video. So here's Dr. Garcia.
Thank you, Sheila, for your trust. It was a pleasure to be your surgeon, and I hope this surgery be as successful on you, okay? You start your real life right now.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia.
Thank you.
Isn't he so sweet? That's how he is all the time. He is very gentle demeanor. He comes in the very first day and really he's there answering any questions you have, any concerns. He's very grateful that you trust him. And he lives in La Jolla, just so you know. And I believe he is from Peru originally. Very nice guy and very knowledgeable. I felt very, very comfortable with him and the care that he took. So he came in, wished me well, and then I was discharged. And then we waited again for our van back to the hotel. We did get to check in right away, like 11 something in the morning. They had no problems with it. Ordered some broth up to the room. Let me tell you about the broth a second. So, we were told by the nutritionist when she came to try the beef broth because it was so much better than the chicken broth. And so, the night she came, I tried the beef broth and it was so good. So the next day I'm like, well, I am having that again. And it was awful. And I'm like, well, maybe it was just a bad shot in the morning. And the night I ordered it again and it was terrible. I am not a cilantro fan, and why they stuff it full of cilantro is beyond me. But, anyways, I did not care for it. What I would suggest to anybody who is going, take some Lipton cup of soup and make it in your room. You can ask for hot water to be brought up, and just don't eat the noodles. Strain them out, or like dump them into a cup, or bring a packet of some kind of broth with you because it just is. And the popsicles are another thing. They're freshly made, and I guess they're hit and miss there. But the ones that we had when I was there were definitely a miss. They were cantaloupe, and it just tasted like, the juice on the bottom of a fruit salad bowl. And then they freeze it. So I didn't really care for those. But you know what? To be perfectly honest, I didn't care for anything the whole time I was there. It just was no good, except the next day, Friday, our driver, Diego, who is amazing. If you get him, he is awesome. He asked if we wanted to go on a little tour of Tijuana, and we said, of course, yes, we do. But I said I don't want it to be super long because I had heard that they kind of carry on for a long time. So he's like 4 hours, and I'm like, no. Can you cut it down to about 2? And so he did. And he showed us some really interesting things, some history about Tijuana. He showed us his house that he grew up in that he eventually bought and gave to his grandmother. And that was kind of cool. He took us to the border where families and people had tried to cross over to America and hadn't made it, and there was crosses all along this wall. Just it went on and on and on, this wall. And so that was really interesting to see. Then he took us to his buddy's shop, which it was interesting. So yeah, a little bit of pressure sales. I didn't buy anything, but they have a secret room in the back with genuine knockoffs of all sorts of stuff. Purses and wallets and sunglasses and whatnot. And some of them are all right and some aren't, but it's, to me, I just was not in the mood. So then he takes you for some broth at this little place. It's right actually around the corner from the hospital. I can't remember what it's called, Lost something. And you actually get a cup of broth for free. And then if you want to take some with you, then you pay $3 American. I didn't want to take any with me, but it was nice to have some good broth. It was good. It wasn't like fall over, I'm going to die good, but it was quite good. So everything down there, you can take American dollars. They really appreciate that. We found out on our little tour that most of the people there that are serving you, like the bellboys and the doormen and the waiters, they make $4 a day US. So take a few extra bucks and give these guys a couple bucks whenever they help you out, and let them carry your luggage. I mean, they just hustling their butts off to try and get, a buck or two, and so that goes a long way for them. So that's what I did, and I felt that, you know, if I can help them a little bit, then there you go. So we went on our little tour back to the hotel, watched a movie, and then the next morning we were to be picked up to go back to San Diego. That's Saturday. Now, this is when I started to panic a little bit because we had been told that yes, there's a medical lane back to the US, so you get to go through a lot faster. However, it can take up to an hour. So we were told we were to be picked up. I should probably mute that. You guys have probably been struggling through this whole time. We from Canada need to be checking in 2 hours before our flight. So our flight was at noon. So we needed to be checking in at 10. So we were told we were being picked up at 9. So that was already feeling like it was cutting it close. Well, Angel didn't show up until 9:40. So he showed up and he's like, "How are you this morning?" I said, and there was 5 of us again traveling back up. I said, "I'm a little concerned that we're not going to make our flight." And he had no idea that we needed to be up there. But thankfully, there was only 6 cars in front of us at the border. There was no problem. They take your passports. They ID them with everybody. They ask if you have anything to declare, and they send you on your way. And so it was very, very easy. He got us to the airport at 10:30, 10:40 maybe. And then we went, checked in, got through security, and got through to our gate. And I was fine walking the whole way, by the way. I thought I might have needed a wheelchair, but it really isn't that far to walk. It wasn't for our gate, anyways. And when I got through, they were starting to board the plane. So they boarded the plane and off we came and back to Calgary. I did wear my support hose on the plane. I would bring a pair if I were you. They do wrap your legs in in tensor bandages. Not very convenient for travel. They give you an aspirator to take home. Use it. And as far as I was gonna do a video of what was in my bag, but I really, honestly, I didn't use much. I didn't use the gas X strips. I knew they weren't for the gas pain from them blowing up the air in your stomach. It wouldn't work for that. That's not what it's meant for. But I know it's created some comfort for people who are having a little bit of the gurgles. I didn't use it. Chapstick was a must. Sunbum is my favorite brand of chapstick. If you're gonna get one, get that. Coconut or banana, except I wanted to eat the whole chapstick. The thing I could not live without is my heating pad. I brought an extension cord, bring one of those, and my heating pad, and I used it all the time. I put it on my shoulder when I was feeling the gas pain in my shoulder. I laid it up on my chest here. I put it on my back to lean back on. I use it all the time. So that's it in a nutshell. And I hope that gives you a good idea of the whole trip. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Bye.